In 1963, the Florida legislature designated that a new university was to be located in the east central part of the state. I was appointed president of 1,200 acres of pine trees and a couple of lakes.
When I was interviewed the first time here, I was shown around the campus, and I did have the sense that it was like coming home to a place that I never visited before. And there was a character to the institution, its people, and the folks that I met who were associated with the university, that they had an optimistic, expansive view of the world. As the interview process proceeded, we were both convinced that this was the right place for us. And Martha and I would have been devastated if I had not gotten the offer.
My first impression of UCF was that it was new and it was innovative, it's fun. It really gives students a chance to be themselves and find themselves and realize their potential.
I've never been to a place that gathers 60,000 people with unique views, unique stories. It's just my opportunity for the most growth.
It's an understatement to say that this campus is diverse, because there's people from all over the world that I've met, and I think that environment is what I wanted to surround myself with.
I was born and raised in Orlando, so UCF has always been in my backyard. Every single time my parents ever drive by it, they always used to tell me, you know what, Rana, if you study really hard and you grow up, you can get to come here too. So it's always been a dream school of mine ever since I was a child.
UCF makes you feel like home, and that's exactly what it has made me feel like home. I'm very connected to my family, but when I'm here, it doesn't even feel like I've left.
UCF has been my #1 choice from day one, and I wouldn't change this experience for anything, because I would not be the person that I am today.
When I first saw the land, I was impressed with the beauty of it. When I began to meet the folks in the community, I knew that I had their support in the establishment of the new university.
Dr. Milliken was a tireless worker and very focused. He wanted to build a plan for the finest university anywhere. Everybody was excited, of course, to open a new university. Yeah, it was wonderful. And the quality of students that were attracted was really something.
The early students, they were an interesting mix of students, very conservative, very hardworking, blue-collar families. Today, when I look at our students, I see some of the same character.
I think the original students who came here or who were here 50 years ago, they're probably the pioneers. They paved the way for us. They started something great, and it's our duty to continue it. And I'm not going to say finish it, because I think it's something that's going to continue for the next 50 years and 50 more years to come.
We've been very fortunate, blessed, although the groundwork was laid by Dr. Milliken.
It's not often you get to talk to somebody who really began something from scratch that has just become enormously significant and successful. You know, he came up with the Reach for the Stars slogan. He was also the origin of the accent on excellence, accent on the individual. And the Reach for the Stars is pretty self-explanatory. But I said, Charlie, what did you mean by accent on excellence and accent on the individual? He says, well, you can figure out the accent on the individual. You know, we have thousands of students, but each one is a precious individual. So the accent on excellence, to me, he said, in its simple form is, if something's worth doing, it's worth doing right.
The name Florida Technological University, or FTU, seemed to be appropriate because the space program at Cape Kennedy, about 40 miles east of here, was extremely active.
Trevor Colburn, to his credit, had a great opportunity to come in here as the second president, and he says, look, you know, Florida Tech is a great name, but we are bigger than that. We're not just an engineering school. At the time, we were positioned to be the engineering school of NASA.
While we had strong engineering and science, really wasn't a technological school. We had great business, education, arts and sciences of all types, theater and so forth.
The name changes, I've likened it to the old thing about it, the only thing harder would be moving a cemetery. If you've ever been around when somebody tries to move burial sites, that's a tender topic with many people. Trevor took that on and got it done early on in his tenure, and had a very impactful presidency himself.
They made the change in December of 1978 because in '79 we were UCF, Central Florida, and it was a feeling that we were going to be a big school. So I applaud that decision. It was a great decision. We are UCF today.
Well, one of the things that President Colburn brought was football.
September 22nd, 1979. College season started, and we were leading up to what would be the historical first football game for UCF. Everybody was nervous. It was a rainy day. Coach Jonas called us into a classroom hallway, and he pointedly told us that we were going to play that day. The game was on, and this would be the most important game of UCF's history forever. And we came out and we blanked them 21-0. You go look at that today, and it was small time. It was Division III. We started as a seed in the ground, and we were still trying to sprout at that point, but that's when we started to germinate.
Anything worth building takes time to build. If you take your time to build a solid foundation, then it will always be there. It's necessary, if you're going to build this type program, to have an on-campus stadium. When the opportunity was that they were going to renovate the Citrus Bowl, we felt it was in our best interest to maybe strike out on our own at that time and develop our own market, which we did, and it became very successful.
This is the house that UCF built. This is for all walks of life. This isn't just the football team. It's not just the athletics. This is the house for all UCF. You have the student center, you have the alumni center, you have the science building and the education building, but this represents the stadium that everybody's a part of for all walks of life. And it's more than just bricks and mortar. It represents our growth. It represents our path. It represents where we have come from and where we are going.
The overall operation of the university, good career service, and administrative personnel are essential, and we've got some of the best. But it all comes into focus in the classroom, where it really counts, where the faculty and students meet face to face.
Going to the heart of the partnership concept here, when the university opens its doors in 1968, they reached out to the marketplace under Charlie Milliken, the first president of the university. You had Lockheed Martin here, which obviously was an engineering defense company. They got into optically guided weapons in the late 60s, early 1970s there, and the university started working with them. As a result of that, Creole was born and became one of the top laser and optic research centers in the world. At the same time, you had the Navy located on the Navy base in Winter Park, which was doing simulation design and procurement. The university reached out and said, how can we help you? As a result of that, the Institute for Simulation and Training, IST, was created. So we also have one of the top centers in the world in simulation and training. But it goes to the roots of the university, both under President Milliken and later President Colburn, of how can we help you? Now you fast forward now 50 years in the history of the university, top global university in simulation and training, top global university in lasers and optics, #2 university in the country, #6 sized research park based on number of employees.
It was a question of converting ideas to blueprints and blueprints to action. And that meant men, machines, money, and time.
So I was doing a little presentation, kind of a state of the university presentation down in Orlando City Hall for the commissioners and mayor. I just said, well, maybe we'll develop a medical college. Well, everybody loved the idea. Many people thought we were crazy, but people liked the idea.
I remember I asked the governor, are you going to support the University of Central Florida effort to get a medical school? And he said no.
We'd had a good need analysis done by MGT of America, and it focused on a coming shortage of physicians in our state. And Governor Bush looked at it and he said, John, I don't want to hear about a shortage of physicians. Just don't want to hear about it. Maybe there will be, maybe there won't be, but I don't want to hear about it. And I said, well, Governor, if you don't want to hear about that shortage of physicians, what do you want to hear about? He said, it's economic impact.
Well, the one thing I like about Jeb Bush is if you give him the right input, he can change his mind.
We had a little short presentation on economic impact that estimated it, I believe, as a direct impact at about the 30,000 jobs, and 7.6, I think it is, $1 billion annual impact. Much more tax revenue generated than is consumed. It's just a great economic development story. The afternoon we presented that to the governor, he clearly had been won over, and the lights turned green that afternoon. We knew we were, in all likelihood, we knew we had gotten the job done that day.
Now, as before, our main concern is to preserve as much of this natural beauty as we can.
I think the nature of a university hasn't changed that much. We have changed to become a university.
UCF has hands down been the best decision of my entire life.
My own experience here at UCF has been invaluable, and I don't know if I could have gotten that from any other institution in the nation.
UCF has helped me reach my goals by challenging me every day when I come to campus. People push me hard because they want to see me succeed.
UCF, we're still growing. And I wanted to be a part of a university that I can look back and say, hey, I had a hand in helping them get to where they are.
If I could say anything to the pioneers or the risk takers that came here, one, it would be thank you. Your hard work has definitely paid off. I'm so proud to call myself a UCF Knight.
As a community, UCF is they're a group of achievers. People care more about making something work than they do about a particular theory or point of view. They're trying to get a good outcome for the students, the faculty and staff, for the whole community. We have a remarkably fine group of people here on this campus.